3. Dante. The demand that the church be purely spiritual was not only a demand that the church abdicate its responsibilities, but also that the church retreat to what the critics held to be the determined rather than determining realm. If, quote, the eternal and the absolutes are determined by time and living law of the temporal world, then to relegate the church to that spiritual realm is to relegate it to the subordinate and determined world. However, the attempt of the church to dominate the world in the same manner attempted by the empire meant that the church had accepted the same non-Christian premises concerning the priority of time and the temporal world. Such a position was more readily criticized in the church than in the state, and men could weep crocodile tears over the apostasy of the church simply because they found it a hindrance to the apostasies of state. One such weeper and rager was a poet, Dante Alighieri, 1265 to 1321, who succeeded where Frederick failed and made state as heresy an adornment of Western culture and literature. According to scholar Giuseppe De Sanctis, Dante is a modern man. Bishop Giovanni Fallini, also speaking at the 700-year anniversary of Dante's birth in Florence, Italy, April 1965 at the Palazzo Vecchio, said, "He worked for a united world foreshadowing the United Nations by over 600 years." The framework of Dante's Divine Comedy was rich in Catholic piety, but the substance was subversive and modern, belonging to the Third Age. The fires of heresy burn more brightly in Dante than do the flames of Inferno. An historian has cited some of Dante's variations as they appear in his Treatise on Monarchy. Dante makes favorable allusions to the Averroist doctrine of the collective immortality of the soul, which stand in strange contradiction to his view of personal immortality upon which the Divine Comedy is based. He debates the traditional papal interpretation of the Petrine biblical text, claiming that from Christ's words to Peter, "It does not follow that the Pope can loose or bind the decrees of the empire." He denies the validity of papal claims based on the donation of Constantine because Constantine had no power to alienate the imperial dignity, nor had the Church the power to receive it. Most significant of all is Dante's argument for imperial authority, not only on the basis of tradition, law, and biblical texts, but also from a simple and radical doctrine of pragmatic necessity. The welfare of the human race, he says, is best advanced under monarchical rule. This represents a new departure in medieval political thought. The implication of Dante's argument is that political power is based on the sanction not only of divine and natural law, but also of social necessity. Here comments that there is scarcely a heretic of his times whose message he, Dante, ignores. Gilson granted that Dante's thought at points represented a form of Averroism, but held this to be purely formal and devoid of content. Dante's philosophy, Gilson maintained, differed clearly from Aquinas. Papini asserted that Dante, who believed that some men are almost as gods, almost certainly believed himself to be one of these men, most noble and divine, that is, almost God. Dante's debt to Islamic thought has also been demonstrated as at least formally important.